Genius Nation, what's going on? Welcome to the Daily Genius. I am Dr. Will, and as always, super excited that you are joining us on this journey. For those of you that are watching outside of our private Facebook group, when I talk about Genius Nation, that's who I'm referring to. Over 1,000 committed individuals to becoming the best version of themselves and creating their best life. So if that sounds like you want to be a better version of yourself and you want to create a life that you love, then I welcome you to join the nation. After this video, go over to Facebook, look up Genius Nation. It's a free Facebook group, private group, where we want to provide you with tips, tools, and solutions to help you become the better version of yourself. So please join us on this endeavor. What is this all about? The Daily Genius is my commitment to Genius Nation, our community, to show up for 365 days. And today is episode number 85. So for 85 straight days, we've been showing up in this group so we can become better versions of ourselves. I hope over the last 2.5 months, this has been a value add to you. I don't know if you're growing, but I'm growing every day, every evening. When I think about what I'm going to share with you, it's stretching me, it's making me better, it's making me more disciplined. So I thank you because you're making me better in the process as well. So today I want to talk to you about consequences. On my walk this morning, I'm always thinking about how I can help my clients become a better version of themselves. And I'm always trying to find that thing. What is that thing that's going to take them to the next level? And today I was thinking about just difficulties that I've observed in working with hundreds of clients. Initially, when we start working together, I'm looking for those roadblocks. I'm looking for those obstacles that's stopping them from doing what they say they want to do. And so that's what I want to talk to you about this morning. One of the major things that I've identified is initially with working with clients is how they think about consequences. And so I want to talk to us about consequences, because understanding consequences is going to be a big part of you achieving what you say you want to achieve. And so I want you to think this morning about anything that you say you want to achieve, anything that you say that you want to do. I want you to think about it. I want to write a book. I want to start a business. I want to go back to school. I want to lose weight. I want to clean out the garage. Whatever the thing is that you say you want to do, now I want you to ask yourself, what's the consequence if I don't do it? What's the consequence if I don't do it? What's the consequence? For those of you coming in live with us this morning, good morning to you. I see you, Dr. Leroy, Dr. Christy. I see you, Lorinda. What's the consequence? What's the consequence? Give you an example here. You go to the doctor and the doctor says you have whatever. And if you don't stop doing this particular thing, it's going to make this thing worse. And here's the consequence. So let's just say diabetes. Let's just use diabetes. You go to the doctor, you get diagnosed with diabetes, and the doctor says you have to stop eating this type of food. And if you don't stop eating this type of food, the consequence is we may have to amputate your leg. The consequence is this thing may kill you. So I want you to think in that context now. Whatever you say you want to do, whatever you say you want to achieve, I want you to identify the consequence. Because this is what I found out. This is what, in working with hundreds of entrepreneurs, this is what I found out. If the consequence doesn't have any meaning to you, if it's not a reality to you, then you're probably not going to make the necessary shifts. You're probably not going to do the activity or take the action to accomplish it because the consequence. Give you another example. We've all been here, woken up one morning, wasn't sick, but just didn't feel, just was feeling, really didn't want to go to work. But guess what we did? We got up and we went to work. Why? Because there's a consequence. There's a consequence. If I don't go to work, I don't get paid. If I don't get paid, I can't pay my bills. If I don't pay my bills, I lose something, whether it's my cell phone, whether it's my lights, whether it's my home, right? I need this job. The consequence of losing this job is too great. See, the consequence connected to losing this job is too great. I won't be able to provide for my children. I won't. See, that's what motivated you. That's what made you, even when you didn't want to do it, the consequence. And so I want you to think about it, right? What's the consequence? What's the consequence? If you don't write that book, what's the consequence? See, for some people, it's just I don't write the book. For other people, I have to write this book. I have to get this book in the hands of people that it can help, that it can inspire, that it can motivate, that it can move to the next level. If I don't do it, I will feel as though I'm not fulfilling my purpose in life. And if that's meaningful to you, to live a fulfilled life, to fulfill your purpose, then you're right in the morning, you're right in the afternoon, you're right in the evening, because the consequence. But if you have a take it or leave it, if the consequence is not significant to you, you won't do anything. You won't do anything. And I found out when I started working with my clients and we started identifying, that's one of the first things, what is the consequence? If you don't accomplish this, if you don't do this, what's the consequence? And when the consequence is not big enough, when the consequence doesn't have any meaning to it, I can almost guarantee you that individual is not going to accomplish the thing that they're trying to accomplish. So I want to ask you, I want you to ask yourself, everything that I say I want to do, I want to lose weight, I want to do this, I want to do that. What consequence? What consequence is connected to it? And does that consequence move you? See, for instance, man, I want to go see this movie. I want to go see this movie. But if I don't go see the movie, the consequence of me not seeing the movie, it's not going to really do anything to my life. So if I go see the movie, I see it. If I don't see it, no big deal, right? But for me, right? Me doing this, showing up 365 days. The consequence for me, right, is if I don't do this, then I wouldn't have kept my word. The consequence is I wouldn't have practiced discipline. And that means something to me. That means something to me. That means something to me. That I gave my word to show up. So even when, watch this, some of you that have been tracking with us, day number 69, remember I told you day number 69, imprinted in my mind, I didn't feel like showing up. I didn't feel like showing up that day. Day number 69, for those of you that's been tracking us, I didn't feel like showing up, but I showed up because I gave my word. And the consequence, I see nobody's paying me to do this. Nobody, I'm not going to fall off if I don't show up. But that's not what it's about. It's about me keeping my word to myself. That's the consequence. See, when you learn how to keep your word to yourself, you move into a powerful position. We can keep word to other people, but when you learn how to keep the word, see, we usually let ourselves off the hook. when you learn how to not let yourself off the hook. See, I talk with a lot of people, and you know what they do? They keep moving the goalposts. What does it mean to move the goalposts? You know, I'm going to have it done by Friday. Okay. I did something else on Friday. I'll do it on Monday. Okay. I didn't do it on Monday. Okay, I'll do it on Wednesday. Okay. They keep moving the goalposts. But when you learn how to keep your word to yourself, that makes you a different person. So I want you to think about that today. What consequence have you connected to everything that you say you want to do? And I guarantee you, if you look at what you want to do, just write it down on a piece of paper. This is what I want to accomplish. But as you write what you want to accomplish, also write, here is the consequence if I don't do this. And I guarantee you, whatever you put on that other side, if it doesn't move you, if it doesn't challenge you, if it doesn't have a meaning to you, then what you want to accomplish won't either. So if you say, I want to get healthy. Why do you want to get healthy? I want to get healthy because I want to live as long as possible so I can enjoy my grandchildren. See, for me, I don't know, but just frameworking in my mind, I have to live until I'm 87 years old. To see my last grandchild graduate from high school. That's just my math. I look at how old my kids are, look at projected when they're going to have their kids. And then when that last grandkid graduates, and I'm projecting, this is when my kids will have kids, right? They'll have this many kids around this time. I need to be this age, right? That's what I'm projecting, 87. So making it to 87, right? A healthy 87. That's the goal, right? So now there's some things that I have to do. I have to exercise. I have to eat right. I have to stay on top of my health, right? If I don't do that, if I don't stay on top of my health, the consequence is I may not be able to see my grandchildren reach adulthood. See, 87, how I see it, 87 at least gets me to that last grandkid turning 18, graduating from high school and going into adulthood. If I can see that, that's meaningful to me. I want to be a part of that. If I don't take care of myself, the consequence is that I may miss that. And that means something to me. So what do you want to accomplish? What's the consequence if you don't accomplish it? And how meaningful is it to you? So do this little exercise today. Just write down 3 or 4 things that you say you want to do, that you say you want to accomplish. And if you are a person who says, you know what, man, I keep stopping and starting, or it seems like I don't finish things, check the consequence. See, you haven't put in place that, man, if I do not do this, this is the consequence. And when you do that, you'll start to see you achieve a lot more things because the consequence. All right, that's what I have for you today. Go out there and be amazing. I'll see you right back here tomorrow for the Daily Genius. Go dominate, guys.